We're taking another look at this blue Terran in the top left side, fighting for Shopify Rebellion. It is Byun. And his opponent in the bottom right side, there he is, the red Protoss player, fighting for Alpha X. That name sounds familiar. It is Classic. Alright, some TVP. Let's await to see what Byun is going to bring out in this matchup instead. So it's Classic we're going to be keeping an eye on. Just making sure he's not being proxied for the time being. That's a smart thing to do. We already saw in the previous game, Byun will proxy you probably somewhere in a best of 5, right? It's just the man that he is. Did it in the first game, the previous round, this time around. Well, at least not the first game. Might be later down the line. Oh, it's the dog map, isn't it? Oh, man. The good boy, the good boy. I remember Artosis and Tasteless talking about it, man. Those guys do crack me up. It is fun to have just like a lassie dog in your face. Just for no apparent reason. It's just there, it's just chilling, having a good time. It's like, oh my, what's this? Feels a little bit more intimidated by the Protoss units here, it looks like. It's like vacuum cleaners, right? Dogs don't go well with those. Most of them, anyway. Huh. Actually, my dog used to love vacuum cleaners. He would always want to, want you to vacuum clean him. Byun won against Gumiho. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. 3-1. So it was a pretty good score there for him. Trilogy apparently 3-0'd Classic in the game they had earlier while we were watching Gumiho versus Byun. We're gonna see now how he's gonna do against our Terran player here. It's gonna be a rough one, I imagine. Check if that probe saw the CC, of course. It did. Stargate's coming up. Also has been seen by Byun. Imagining he's not gonna stay on Hellion production for too long. He might be trying to do a drop, actually. With more Hellions. Let's wait and see. No, it's just the one Hellion. Yep, and the tech lab. Alright. Might go for a Cyclone here. A little push. 8 Marines and a Hellion. Could be too much to handle for Classic at this moment in time. See how many probes are gonna get extinguished. It's gonna go for the Adepts first. That is an interesting choice. Not sure if he's going to get a lot of value there, but you know what? He gets one of them so far. The Hellion is still around as well. That Hellion, definitely a clear problem. Still shooting the Adapt, and now the Hellion getting picked up as well. Only a single probe getting picked. Yeah. I'm not sure how to feel about that. I thought for sure he was going to just target down probes there, like an absolute mad lad, but instead taking the front fight with the Adepts. So those Adepts were just going to be ignored. Just buying time for the Cyclone and Viking. That makes sense to me. He does this more often though, right? Just the Marine and the Hellion push at that moment in time. There's been a couple of Terrans doing this, and what I'm used to seeing is them just targeting down probes, but maybe Byun under the impression that he could take out the Adepts because it was a Phoenix rather than a Oracle or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask him at some point. So Basel Classic about to finish up. So those Phoenix, not yet any blood on their hands, but that's about to change. 3 SCVs, a couple of Marines as well have to admit defeat. Ooh, 2 Phoenix? No, just one of them. Felt pretty confident saying this one was going to die as well. 3 HP remaining, that's it. Doesn't get much closer than that. As Byun still on the 2 base. Starting to ramp up that production of Marauders. Most likely will attempt a push out with that. We'll have to see if he goes for the natural or the 3rd base here. Very difficult to imagine him attempting the main base, especially knowing Phoenix are around. And with only 2 medevacs as well. Couple of Widow Mines available for Byun. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on how those Phoenix fly into them. Straight up defending the 3rd base. Not a bad choice. A place where those Phoenix will very often fly across, trying to get into the main base. Direct path. After all. Look at this pylon setup here by Classic. He does not want to be caught off guard by some sort of drop play. So he's trying to be as prepared as possible. Extended Thermal Lance about to finish up here as well. It's going to make his Colossi a lot stronger against whatever it is coming in here. And it is quite a bit, in fact. I don't know if he's gonna have enough to beat back Classic, especially with the shield battery there. Let's see, it is a lot of bio though. It is definitely a lot of bio. Having 3 Colossi here would make it feel a lot safer, for sure, but... Oh, it's Classic so aware. You can see, there we go. Okay, moving on in, getting the Widow Mines first, so nothing will be in the ground. Good opening. Though maybe with the Phoenix around still, I love seeing Phoenixes drag Widow Mines into the Marine Marauder. It is so incredibly powerful. It is a bit of a risk though, of course. A difficult thing to make work. So we have the medevacs coming in now into the main base after all. Even with those Phoenix hanging around, he doesn't care. I wonder if this is going to end up well for him. A couple of feedbacks into the medevacs. They have a bit of a rougher journey out of here right now. Another attack coming in through the other angles actually. The 3rd and the natural base. Under pressure. Trying to wiggle his way past the infrastructure. Making it difficult for the Zealots and the Archons to get on top of this. 10 workers being killed off. The Colossi on the 3rd. Securing that area once again. And as the dust settles, we have to kind of look at the scoreboards here. See whether or not that was worth it. He hasn't killed off any high tier units for Classic, which I do believe is gonna be impactful here. Still on the 4 Colossi. Gonna have a couple of Archons, because those High Templar also survived. I guess he lost 1 Archon here. Yeah, the gateway units, the Zealots and such, easily replaceable. The rest of it, it's a lot more difficult. Good little split there. Byun's army not as technologically advanced. He's got himself a couple of Vikings here and a reasonable chunk of Marauders. Those Marauders are going to be important, but does he have enough Marines to gun down the Zealots efficiently? I don't know if he does. Okay, Ghost, very important, coming out in the nick of time here. Having a EMP or 2 land is going to make this a very doable fight for him. Manages to get one of them, and, well, most of the army definitely has been EMP'd. Still a rough fight, straight on that ramp area here. Having a rough time at it. Trying to set up his Widowmine again. Lossai poking out, trying to provoke the Terran into pushing into a location where he can't quite handle himself. Let's see if that was the right thing to do. Definitely looks like it is. GG is called. Classic takes game number 1 here versus Byun in quite a nice fashion. Having another good look around. Checking to see the vicinity. Whether or not there is any evil going on. I call it evil, but then again, I do appreciate a good proxy now and again. He's checking so just thoroughly, man. This is ridiculous. He really does not want to get proxied. With the way the previous game went, you know, I think he's right. He did a lot of scouting that round as well, and paid off. Paid off. He got himself into a fairly safe mid-game. And yeah. He reaped the rewards of that one. So gonna try to get himself in that similar position, I would imagine. Probably not gonna deviate too much from Classic's plans, but might be different things coming out for Byun. Previous attack with the Marines and Hellion. Still wondering about it. What if it had targeted probes? What if it had? How many would have been able to get picked off? I imagine quite a few. Most Marines, even without Stimpack, the probes, they will melt quite quickly. How would that have situation unfolded then at that moment in time? It's hard to say these what-ifs, but definitely something that makes StarCraft 2 a fascinating game. Little Stalker action here. Taking some hull damage, but you know what? Killing off those 2 Marines. Another Adapt coming in. Those 2 Marines now trying to hunt down the other. Oh my god, he's gonna get it. Wow. Trapped, you fool. And gets the Adept as well. That is wonderful. He's lost 4 Marines, but you know what? Trades out positively then. So, well done. Well done. Got a bit worried, I have to say. Seeing the 2 Marines over here, you know, just 2 of them versus the Stalker, it's like, I mean, that Stalker's still gonna win that fight. But they dealt enough damage to allow the other Marines to come in and just melt it away. Classic didn't wait for his shield to regen either, so didn't really have a shot at retreat any further after that. Oracle. Zoned away quite quickly, realizing, nope, that is not a ball of Marines I want to fly into. I don't blame him. If I were an Oracle, that is probably the airspace I would try to avoid as well. Whichever airspace is directly above the Marines. Oh, little missed micro there, it looks like. Or missed waypoint. That's probably it, right? Getting his 3rd base again. Nice and early. Proper timing. Byun with his triple Rex play might be up to no good though. As soon as that Stim and Combat Shield finishes, I would imagine him getting a little bit uppity at that point in time. 2 Adapts and 2 Stalkers are in front of the base. Even if they just get a single Stim out of these Marines, that is going to be significant. Because there are just no medevacs around whatsoever just yet. Is he going to wait for 2 medevacs before he starts heading out? I don't know. He could do. That's going to buy Classic more time to prepare for this. Sorry. I need to get myself some more water after the after this game. Marauder production, Medevacs, supply blocked. Oh, there we go. Okay, wasn't supply blocked for that long. Maybe he called down some extra supply somewhere. Yes, he did. You sneaky bugger. Thought you could get away with it, didn't you? No. Oh. We saw. We saw. Gonna have to start supply depots. There we go. Okay, 2 of them. Attack of Byun, so far not yet aware, is classic. At least to the location where it's exactly coming in from. More so defending his third base, or trying to. Just a logical location, that is the more likely area this is going to come in from. Oracle, oh my god, you're kidding me. It didn't see, it didn't see. Now it's not seeing the Medevacs up until the... No, it just doesn't see. It just doesn't. Coming in. Colossi with a couple of gateway units. A very lucky production cycle there, I believe. Or maybe they just had some units there just in case. Smart move. Doing alright on that side. The right side now as well. Actually getting collapsed onto. Classic not quite ready. That Colossus not helping out with the fight whatsoever. Lost quite a couple of valuable units. Another stim in immediately. Wants to try and capitalize on this moment of momentum. There we go. Gets himself another big unit. Gets rid of the pylon, trying to disable the production of the robotics bay. Targeting down probes. 14 do fall. That's a good amount. And just kind of gets out of that with whatever is remaining of his push. A way more successful attack than we saw in that previous game. Getting rid of the sentries, the immortal, the colossi as well. At least one of them. Half of the entire colossi population, or a third now. The one reproduced on its own. Pretty reasonable drop here. Look at that. I'd be happy with that. Just head out already. Right, no need to fight those zealots in the Colossi at this moment in time. You dealt your damage. 11 more probes. Just like that. Up in smoke. Oracle could have some little bit of retaliation here. Some vengeance for the Protoss probies. Eye for an eye. Only gets 4 of them though. That is disappointing. Six kills in total on that though. Not bad. Ooh, status trap. Could trigger. Doesn't trigger though. Oh, that is bad. Imagine if it had just been a little bit to the left. That could have changed that entire moment. It's still here. It could still be triggered. Okay, 3 Marauders. That is a big chunk of the DPS actually available here. Oh, but that's just more coming in. That is just more coming in. Colossi were falling left, right, and center. And GG is called. Byun takes game number 2. Top left side. Shopify Rebellions. Blue Terran. It is Byun. Bottom right side, there's Red Protoss fighting for Alpha X. One and only. Classic. Who's streamer? Name? It's Kozan. Hello. I'm Kozan. Welcome. Welcome to Kozan. What's that? How did that go again? Oh, I forgot. Probably nobody knows what I'm talking about either. That's fine. Zumbocom. Is that it? Welcome to Zumbocom. Welcome to Kozan Cast. That should be the website. Alright, well, anyway, what's happening here? We got a proxy from Classic. A little proxy woxy. SCV weenies are all waiting. God. Early mornings do something to me. I'm sorry. It's the lack of sleep. Makes me giggly. Reactor as well as a command center. All right. Could be trouble. Could be trouble for Byun. Kozan Simon. Yes, that's right. That is correct. Look at how much nuisance this one probe is being as well. Making the 2 Marines at a time, it seems nice, but you have a little bit of delayed production there at the start. Let's hope he makes up for it. See how heavy Classic is going to be here, actually, with the gateway units as well. He is chronoing out the Adept, and he's chronoing out the Stalker, so he's going to bring everything he has to the table here. If he manages to keep this probe on the high ground as well, there we go. Gets high ground vision now with the Stalker, and won't be taking that extra hull damage from the Marines. Has to stick on the high ground here for a little bit longer. Alright, yeah, that is looking good. I'm going to target down the other Marine right now. The Adept is coming across. Needs a bit more time for the Stalker to do its magic. There it is. Okay, Shade now going to be available as well to bring him that vision. There's another Stalker. Very, very good opening here. For Classic. Just needs to stay on top of his control. Stay on top of his micro and start getting that extra production on his Nexus now. Ooh, with a mine. Doesn't quite get a connection there. Lovely. Forces it backwards up onto the high ground. That's where you're gonna go. Ooh, oh, nice Unburrow there. Great shade as well. Look at that. Manages to pick up the Widowmine now because of this. Gonna lose his Stalker though. Has to be careful. Okay. Doesn't lose another Stalker. He's gonna do the trick again. Is he? No, it wasn't the right timing, was it? Adept was a bit too far away. Classic really good with that now though. It looks like. At least that that right there, it looked like he was really good at it. This is going to be a cancel. Just some vision for the supply depot. If that doesn't get repaired, he might kill it in the next attempt here. Sees the Widowmine a little bit further up. One more volley. Yeah, there we go. It's dead. That's a big supply block now for Byun as well. Okay, no, the supply depot is finishing up. He's still supply blocked. That's a problem. That is a problem. He's trying to make a siege tank and he cannot make a siege tank right now. A siege tank would be oh so wonderful at this moment in time. Needs that to be producing. That's a lot of time wasted right there. Great job there by Classic. Just gaining more and more value out of this. Very, very good stuff. He's got his robo back at home now as well. One thing that has me slightly worried perhaps is some sort of a counter-attack. Where Classic just doesn't quite have the AoE firepower that he needs against the Bio army. Then again, we are just consisting out of Marines so far. No combat shield, no stim pack, nothing of the sorts. We're gonna go up to Blink as well. With a good force of Stalkers. You should be able to trade pretty reasonably against those Marines. And siege tanks too, as long as you don't run into them as they're sieged up. Could get a lot of work done. That's the warp-in point right there, available still as well. Only on 3 gates, as he's going up to 3 base. That's the support bay. Alright, the facility and the bay. I don't know why they changed those names so many times. It still bothers me. Still bothers me. Ooh, wow. How did he know? How did he know he was gonna get scanned there? Was it just because of how the, like, a little movements in the Viking there? Oh, he's jumping in. He's going for it. Gets the siege tank as well. That's still a lot of Marines. Getting some value here with the Stalkers. Are going to remain in the main base. Still a vicious threat right now. And another supply depot, I believe, has got himself some more marine kills as well. That's okay, that's okay. Units lost tab. Definitely heavy in favor now for Classic. The space still on half HP as well. This is grim. This is a grim reality right now for Byun. He's losing another siege tank. Will get 4 Stalkers for it though. So that made it worth it. Good chase there. Great stutter step micros. You can see he gained a lot of ground there in that one fight. But will it be enough? I don't think so. Especially if that happens. Oh my dear lord. My life just flashed in front of my eyes a little. Yeah, that happens. Okay, well, Byun's still alive. He's still alive. He gets the Observer, but that's another scan invested, as I think he might want to try to utilize all that energy on mules right now. Stalker still quite an ensemble of them here. Ready to poke away as soon as Byun tries to make any move towards the opposition. Choop, choop. There go the medevacs. Stalkers probably should try to get home here. Not anything ready to see for this. A scan on the third base. Now this could just all be a bluff, right? Being like, alright, I'm going for that third base. Classic not having it though. He still moved his Stalkers towards the main base, so didn't quite fall for that one. And there we go. GG is called. Byun, after a hard-fought battle, does get taken out there. Classic now 2-1. Top right side, blue Terran player fighting for Shopify Rebellion and is live right now. Or well, at least it's live for this match. It is Byun. It's not even his tournament life, really. Actually, he's been doing alright, so I don't know how it would work if he loses this. Could he still win? It depends on how well DRG is doing in his match versus... was it Creator? Was Creator in this as well? What's the player I didn't see just quite yet? It's... oh, no, I did see everyone. It depends on how DRG versus Gumiho is going. That's right. That's right. That's what I was talking about. That's it. That's it right there. No proxy from Byun, so maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. Who knows? That tends to happen. That tends to happen. If you didn't know that, well, welcome to the channel. welcome to the Kozan casting. That's right. Just pure speculation. It's all we deal with right here. It's conspiracy theories on all the StarCraft 2 players. So we are pretty certain that Byun seems to be harboring some sort of a affectionate emotions towards the Zerg race. It's not a conspiracy. I don't know, actually. I try to make it a conspiracy. Well, that just didn't go anywhere. Alright. Mirror's Edge 7 saying that Byun sending out a very early scout. Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He kind of got killed by the proxy gateway the previous game. And that is why. He just wanted to make sure that he didn't get proxied again. Because it killed him. It absolutely did kill him. Didn't expect it, and he got done in. Alright, there we go. We will watch this Stalker get buried alive. There we go. Concussive Shell, once again, showing its prowess. I've had a lot of hatred to the early on Concussive Shell upgrades, but you know what? It's alright. It's alright. It just kind of keeps you safe at the start. I don't like this push as much. I don't think you're gonna get a lot of work done here, and like, you know, the upgrade timing attack, is it really worth it? It's a 50 mineral, 50 gas upgrade. You really gain that much out of sending in your Marauders to die right now? I don't know. It's alright to poke, right? But I mean, it's bad. It's a little bit. Stays alive. I'm not sure if those adapts. Well, they would have been able to kill this one at least. Maybe they would have been able to shade away afterwards as well again. Huh. What's another good conspiracy theory? Like, what would be a solid conspiracy theory for, like, StarCraft 2? What if, right? What if they wanted to be bought by Microsoft all this time? So they did all those horrible things in order. Nah, I probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't try to. Oh dear, this is a mess, isn't it? MaxPack's just an AI, Protoss being OIP, OP. It's just a conspiracy theory. It is, isn't it? It's by the Terran and Zerg players. You know what? Some conspiracy theories turn out to be true, don't they? Right, I'm gonna focus on the game again. Little Widowmine drop here, coming in. Looking for the damage. There's an exposed mineral line here. The Phoenix not quite with the reaction time, just quite yet, but... there we go, only one Widowmine. Two more, and that is not much. Not much. Oh, he picks it up. What a beast. What a legend. Keeps the low HP Widowmine in there as well. Pretty sure he did that on purpose. Ooh, kills two probes. Oh, look at that. More attacking. More attacking. That is looking really bad for Classic. A little bit of an overextension trying to chase down that Marauder. Immortal now without shields. No shield battery. That is powered up. Capable of doing anything here. More Widowmines back into action once again, getting a couple of extra kills. 6 probes in total. Byun. Ooh. Byun out for blood. The wild man has come to lay waste to the Protoss once again. Putting himself in a phenomenal position. 53 workers versus 47 probes. Definitely a place where you would like to be as the Terran, as well as still having that army lead as well. About 10 supply up on that remark. Could be enough for him to start snowballing this into his court entirely. I'll have to wait and see. Classic hasn't been informed. We just saw him take out Byun twice, guys. Come on, Isaac. Come on. Give Classic a break. He's 2-1 versus Byun in a best of 5. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Admitted, one of the victories was a little bit because of the, you know, the build orders working out in his favor. But still. Is this going to be the end? A big push coming straight forwards to Colossi from 2 different angles. manage to force this backwards. Still so many probes are going down left, right and center. 10 more being picked off as Byun just nibbles. He just nibbles away on that economy that Classic has. So he's got himself a third base. I'm pretty sure he's making a fourth somewhere. I'm not sure where it's... He's hidden it somewhere. It's underground. I know it's real. I know it's real. You can't tell me otherwise. I've read it online. Alright. This might be a good moment as well for all those Colossi to start being a little bit careful. Look at that splitting on those Marauders. You're like, that's not a lot of units, is it? But Marauders spread out against Colossi fire. Oh, it is. They're so good. They are just so tanky. It's ridiculous. Are you still gonna dig yourself out of this whole Classic? I wonder. I wonder. It's looking more and more intense. And with the siege tanks now involved as well, it's gonna be extremely difficult. You're no longer gonna be able to chase the Terran army if you... well... if you die to it. It doesn't even need the siege tanks there. Alright, well... there we go. The writing was on the wall there for a little bit, but you know what? Hey, Classic hanging on, trying his best. You gotta admire that from a player. GG is called, and that ties up the series. We're on the match point for both of them. The ace match. Factory after the barracks, so no triple Rex shenanigans. No proxies either. I really was anticipating at least one proxy from Byun, but maybe he just feels comfortable against Classic. That could be the case. He just doesn't want to do a big old, you know, gamble on the proxy, especially considering how, like, proactive Classic has been on his scouting, right? It's got to be mentioned as well. Like, he's just been out there with probes every single time. So that does guarantee him safety, but at the same time, if your opponent knows that you're gonna vigorously scout with your probes, right? In a way, him not going for the proxy whatsoever, right? Only possible really if you know your opponent is a rigorous scouter. That's a word, right? Rigorous? Sure, we'll roll with it. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, like, you know, you just kind of gain an advantage because you don't do the proxy, and then your opponent is just wasting money in a sense, trying to do a scout for something that ain't there. That won't be there because he knows you're gonna scout, so it's not gonna gain value, and then you're losing value. That's the probe seeker, the seeker with the probe. It's a harsh game. It's a harsh game, and it does come down to a little bit of rock paper scissors-esque kind of moments sometimes, right? Like, or you just say, all right, we're just gonna take that slight hit to the economy. We're just always gonna scout just to make sure that I always get to play the game that I want to. Different strokes for different folks. Classic so far, definitely on the board of let's just play it safe. Let's play it securely. Oh wow, that has managed to wiggle its way past, but yeah, two Phoenix ready to intercept the third one. Still going to be able to shoot down the medevac as well. That's a rough start for Byun. Great stuff for Classic. Gone for the Stargate and just straight away into Phoenix. Didn't even bother with the Oracle. Now for Classic's turn. Awkward moment when that bunker is just about finishing up. Nothing here in the main base to defend it for the SCVs. This could be a little bit of damage. Oh, it doesn't quite have the energy to keep that going. What a shame. For SCVs, nothing to scoff at though. Especially with that third base advantage being set up right now for our Protoss player. Byun going up to 3 racks. Imagining that is going to be another attack lab onto this one. Double down on the Marauder production. 5 gateways here for Classic though. I really like that. Should bump up his odds of getting a proper mid-game defense, because there is clearly going to be some sort of an attack coming out of Byun, right? It's just what the Terrans do. They will do the timing attack around the moments when they start taking that third base. If they don't, well, it tends not to work out as much for the Terran. If they don't. Sometimes you see it happen, but the Protoss unscathed just going into late game. Just feels quite rough. Just feels quite rough. If they have all those very strong, beefy endgame units and hardly had to make any gateway units throughout the game, then yeah, it's rough. Because the gateway unit's really the big crub that you're trying to trade up against. You're trying to target down the big units, but small units you keep targeting down so that your opponent doesn't have the money to just only make big units, right? You need a bit of this, a bit of that. Right, Phoenix going for Marauders here. Absolutely love it. Not going for SCV killing. He doesn't really need to, right? He's already in a good position economically. He just needs to make sure he doesn't die to this push. Got himself a charge with a ton of zealots going in before the Widowmines or the siege tanks are sieged up here. And the armor missile does strike true, and that's going to do a lot of damage against those zealots, or at least benefit the Marines targeting down those zealots. They're still just too much. Look at this amount of Protoss still available. Byun hardly has anything left. A couple of Widowmines still coming in as reinforcements with a bit of extra bio, but that is nowhere near enough to start mounting any counter-offensive here. So Byun just left, scratching his head back at base. Third base is coming up, the third command center. Very proactive move from Classic, gonna pay off here, apparently. Coming back around with these Phoenix, picking up whatever he can. 2 more SCVs, medevac or 2, why not? Very good stuff. More and more value being achieved by these Phoenix. Losing one of them? No, never mind. He's in control right now. Solid stuff, very solid stuff. Robotics facilities, 2 of them have finished up, as well as the robotics bay. Gonna start producing the Colossi, and that is just another step towards having a good place to secure this. 4th base coming up. Byun did manage to secure his 3rd. He's still kind of up there in the work account. To be fair, like, this game not lost yet for Byun. Just kind of prefer Classic's position a little bit more so. Well, considering how well the trading went for Classic and the supply still being around this position here, it's very impressive for or by Byun, really. Lose a couple. Oh, he doesn't have energy anymore, does he? Oh no! I think there was a bit of a forgetfulness that you lose your energy as well when you get EMP'd. I was like, oh yeah, you could just fly in there and get those ghosts now, can't you? And then you realize, oh, wait a moment. Wait a moment. I can't pick anything up. Oops. Good stuff, good stuff. I think he had like 1 more pickup, but then that was it. So maybe that just, you know, the button being available. Yeah, these Phoenix, they are going to be a little bit less useful once we start reaching the 200 supply. At least in a straight up fight. But, to be fair, they still can get a lot of value in a way, if you manage to get some Widowmine dragged into the Terran army with those Phoenix, you open up the way for all your Zealots to come in. You might be able to do some extra damage to the bio that way as well. Or you could have them set up in the back, right? Just in case if there is a medevac coming along somewhere, you're going to have something to quickly jump on top of that and shut that down as you're busy across the map to doing the offensive. Quite a lot of army supply here for Classic. Army composition for Byun, 6 Vikings and 6 Ghosts involved with 16 Marauders. A couple of Widowmines there as well, and a good bunch of Marines. Here we go. EMP's landing quite accurately. The Phoenix still have energy, and Widowmines set off on a lot of Zealots right there. I think that with a bit more micro here, if those Vikings have a couple extra volleys shot into the Colossi, this should be manageable for Byun, but the Protoss is already in his face inside of the SCV line in the natural right now, and the Vikings are being zoned out by the Phoenix and the Stalkers quite considerably well. So Byun just struggling right now, gonna perhaps lose this base in fact. He's definitely lost a lot of stuff there already, a lot of supply depots going down. Might be a problem for later down the line. Keeps this orbital alive though. That's very important. There we are. Vikings once again getting a couple of good volleys. One less Colossi to worry about. Has to be careful about those Stalkers. He's kind of just letting them shoot right now. I don't know. Bio-4 Byun in positions like these, they're so clumped up. You see how less efficient the bio is if you clump them up too much against those Colossi. This might start to snowball, guys. Army supply getting further and further apart. In he comes once again. The Protoss Menace. Is this going to be it? Classic. It looks like he will be able to break through. SCVs are being pulled, but it's too little, too late. More Zealots blocking the entrance of the reinforcements, and there you have it, guys. GG. Classic takes the series 3-2. Quite a series indeed. Well played.